Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Christmas episode of the North V South FPL podcast featuring myself, Heath, and my co-host, State. What is going on, buddy? How are you?
Lots going on. I'm good, mate. Really good. Feeling, again, just like last week, still feeling really festive. And I'm usually the Grinch at Christmas, so this is new territory for me, but good territory, I think. Yeah.
I think we already have a drink here. We
Yeah,
had a bottom already.
Well,
Cheers.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
So, all right, just to kind of give you an idea, as it's a Christmas episode, we are going to have some fines, and we worked out that the three things that State and I say a lot are but and you know. Now we get a lot of knows from State, and you get a lot of knows from me.
You don't sound that deep at all.
You know.
Oh God. There we go.
Anyway,
it's gonna be a long night.
So today we're going to have that, and we've got quite a lot of beers to get through. We will try not to be one of those annoying podcasts where you're getting drunk as it's going on. You know, we'll try and get to the peak of enjoyment rather than get to that point of weirdness. But I to be honest, I'm quite proud that I get to that state, and I'm sure I've seen State in many states, in fact.
Yeah, I've been in one or two in my time, that's for sure.
So we have a game week review, but we actually have two this week because we did have two game weeks gone by in the past week. So we're going to kind of go through those fairly quickly. We've got this week got our shit list. We've got our North v South score prediction results, and we got our. I'm gonna have a little drink for that one.
Yeah, there you go. Well done for bringing you up, because I didn't pick up on that one.
Yeah. Any stutters as well is going to go straight into drink category.
Yeah.
The North v South score results and predictions. The North v South mini league updates. We're going to have on the spot. We'll talk more about that later if you haven't heard of that before. We've got a game week preview, and we've got a quiz. I've got a quiz for State this week, and it's Christmas related. So yeah, we've got quite a lot to get through. So I think the best thing to do is to start straight away with our game week reviews.
So we're going with game week 17 first of all. Sure, we'll do game week 17 first.
There's an
Yeah, what a shocking rule. Who brought up these rules? Shocking behaviour. Tell you what, you just want to get me drunk so that I don't outdo you in the quiz later, aren't you? That's the key. I see your tactics, you filthy animal. There you go. But yeah, that was not quite a Home Alone impression, but it took a quote from it anyway. So,
two in a row.
Life is starting off well. So let's get straight cracking with it. Game week 17 wasn't a great week for me. I got above average. I ended up with 51 points. It spread out all right, but I suppose the key was for me that I had three Leicester players in my squad, and they didn't play, and none of my bench played because Cancelo was suspended, Bamford was injured, and Jimenez was suspended. So it was not good that I only played with 8 men. But so to be fair, 51 points. Just doing it again. But 51 points with 8 men wasn't too bad, to be fair. This is going to be really tough. I'm definitely going to be drinking at the end of this episode.
You had about 4 of them in there.
I just have to neck my beer, basically, haven't I? That's all I can say. So we had Mr. Diaz with 5 points.
Stay.
It's so tough. It's like on my conscience now, isn't it?
I know. Maybe we need to change the rules.
So Diaz 5 points, Mason Holgate 1 point, Trent Alexander-Arnold 11 points. I'm going through this quickly.
You are.
Connor Cody's been brilliant of late. He got 8 points as well. Then we've got Diogo Jota with 7 points, Bernardo Silva 1 point, and we only did 45 minutes against Leeds. 7 goals there. I'm a bit disappointed with that. Mo Salah, he was my captain, got 8 points, so he got me 16. And then Timo Pukki up front got me 2. And like I said already, all my bench was suspended or injured. So there was no extra points off the bench. So Kasper Schmeichel didn't play, James Maddison didn't play, Boubacar Samari didn't play as well. So I had 3 positions in my side that got 0 points. So to get 51, actually, I wasn't too upset with. Oh crap! But so 51 points wasn't that bad actually, considering the people leaving me out. I know it didn't. It cost me when it comes to the head-to-head, but which Heath and I'll drink again. Heath will tell us all about it, but it was not a terrible performance at the end of the day. And I know others struggled in the game week because of all the COVID restrictions and games being called off we've had. So how about you, Heath? What was game week 17 like for you, mate?
It was a good one. It was a good one. It's one of the highlights of my season so far. I'll start in goal. I had Ramsdale in there. I went for him. I'll drink for that.
Yeah, you just prevented it by going with a different
I know.
stuff there.
I know.
That's cheeky, but I suppose it's within the rules, you know.
No, I drunk for that. So he got a clean sheet, but yellow cards, 5 points. Cucurella with 2. Reece James got an 8, got an assist, 3 bonus. I do think that James is when he's on form and he gets any kind of points, is a bit like Alonso. He seems to get the bonus, which I like about him. Rudiger just a 2. Soufal came off my bench, unfortunately, due to COVID, and he got me a -2. I felt a bit sorry for him because I think
it was harsh.
It was a harsh red card.
It was never a foul anyway.
Yeah, it was a harsh red card.
And then to get a second yellow card for it, and it wasn't foul. I mean, we'll get onto the shit list later, but that's something I'll be bringing up later. Don't you worry.
No, and yeah, I had Gallagher with 2 points. Zaha came in. He did a good job. He got 5. Oh Jesus! He got a goal. Got 7 points.
You keep talking as long as you can, and they just keep creeping in, lad.
They do. I had just do it. Jesus.
Once you're on a roll, you can't stop.
So, Emil Smith Rowe, although he only played 24 minutes, he still scored. So he got me 6 points. Mason Mount scored, got me 7 points. Antonio just a 2. The star of my show, without a doubt, Ollie Watkins, away at Norwich, goal, assist, 3 bonus points, massive score, 24 points in the end. In the end, that was basically the game changer for me. I got 63 points altogether. My bench was Foster, Dennis, Sissoko, and Lamptey. Lamptey got 2 points, but I had Soufal in front of him, which is a bit of a shame. But I won the week, so I was happy with that. Then basically have let myself down this week, so I'll move straight on to game week 18. Yeah. I got 66 points. I have to explain what happened here because
you free hit, didn't you?
I did, and I don't think that anyone listening to this who thinks that I have any skills when it comes to FPL will be happy with my decision. However, I have a reason for that, and the reason was I swear that on the day when people were saying that the Villa game could be called off, not the Villa game, sorry, that any of these games could be called off, I was very, very careful to play my transfers as late as possible to the deadline. But I had plans about half an hour before the deadline. So I thought, well, I have to make the transfers now. Otherwise, I'm not going to make them. And I brought in 2 Villa players and 2 other players because I wanted to enjoy the game week. If I'm being honest with you, I had hardly any players. I had about 4 or 5 players playing. And I thought I want to enjoy the game week. I had 2 free transfers. So I made 4 transfers, took a -8. And then they called off the Burnley game. So I had a decision to make. The deadline got extended to 4 o'clock or 4:15, whatever it was. And I had a decision to make. So I decided that after I come back for what I was up to, I decided to play a free hit. I got obviously, when you play a free hit, any transfers you made, you straight away, they dissolve and you get you don't take the minus hit. But you do lose a chip, and it's a valuable chip for a double game week. So I'm pretty disappointed in that sense. However, I didn't get the -8. And if you listen to my team, it's quite a smart team considering the results and what happened. I'm just a bit gutted that the overall result, compared to State. But overall, I made a lot more points this week. I had, if I hadn't have I'm drink for there.
Yeah. I'm just listening to you because I know they're all coming in. I'm just accumulating them, to be fair.
What, were there quite a few there?
No, actually, there was only 2.
Oh, nice. So I took out, I'm not going to go through my whole team of what I had before. I'm just going to tell you the plan. So I thought I want 3 Chelsea and I want 3 Arsenal. I want 3 Spurs because they're the only teams playing. I went for Son, Kane and Lucas Moura because it's a bit more fun. They were playing Liverpool. If they're going to get any points, I didn't think it was going to be from defence, and it was right. They drew 2-2. Then I went for the 3 Chelsea defenders. Alonso, James are a lot of fun because they're wing backs, and Rudiger seems to score every now and then. So I thought I'm winning with those 3 as long as they all play, which they did, and they all got clean sheets. They were playing Wolves, who can't seem to score at the moment. So I thought that was a wise decision. Yeah. And then because I knew Arsenal were playing the night of the actual deadline, I thought, well, it's a big risk, but I'd rather have a captain from Arsenal than the other games when I'm not too sure it's going to play. So I put my vice captain on Son, but I put my captain on Lacazette. That was a big call. But if you know that I also brought in Saka and Martinelli, I would never have dreamed of putting the captaincy on Saka or Martinelli, if I'm being honest with you. I just didn't trust that either of them were definitely going to play with Emil Smith-Rowe coming back. So I played with a decent strategy. It worked out for my score. The only person who failed to score was Lucas Moura, as in get points. So Rudiger got 5, James got 6, Alonso got 9, Moura got 1, Saka with 7, Martinelli massive with 15, Son with 7, Lacazette with 5, but 10 because I had him as captain, and Kane finally got a goal and got 6. Could have and should have been sent off. Let's be honest.
Could have had you. I mean, we'll get on it, but Spurs. I mean, again, I'll speak a bit more about it on my shit list, but Spurs could have had several goals in that first half. The way they countered were fantastic. Kane should have scored another one. Son had great chances to get a couple more. Dele Alli should have scored a few. Spurs could have had a half goal against Liverpool.
So I had 9 players playing. I was happy with that. I would have had Smith Rowe. I would have had Ramsdale. There are players that I would have had that wouldn't have got any points anyway, even if they were playing. So I think that my strategy was right, but you're going to find out. So in the end, I got 66 points, which was a really good score in my mind. But when
average points were only 39, so that's a really good shout.
Yeah,
really
good. Exactly. Yeah. And most people will say, yeah, you wasted that. You should use it on a double game week. But honestly, the amount of points I would have got had I not played that would have been 10 to 20 points, I think, if that. And I drink for that.
There we go. But I tell you what, you had a great week there. Really good week. And only the best managers were better that week. Only the best.
Come on then. I'm really, I'll be honest, I'm proud of you, mate. Because you made a very, very good decision this week. And I would say that not a lot of people would have made that decision. I have seen on social media that a lot of people, some people made a certain someone captain, but I think that realistically, if you're playing this game and you're going against Salah, I think you're brave. So tell us about your team for game week 18.
Northern Super Kings are very thankful for having a manager called State this week. That's all I'll say, guys.
Just talks about himself in the third person.
Yeah, that's how good it was. Yeah.
With a cheeky, there in between. It's all right. You just open a can. It's fine.
Sorry about that. However, I will go on to it again.
No, you didn't. You didn't. It's just the fact that the way you're talking, you're really thinking about it. It's fine. It's fine. It's good. It's funny.
However, I mean, I still played with only 9 men this game week as well. 9 men, and I had a great week. I'm not gonna lie to you. Great week. Won in the cup again. So through to round 4 now. So things are going well in the cup. But let's just go into it. David De Gea. I actually made 1 transfer this week, and I brought in David De Gea. I already knew the game was called off, right? But my logic behind people will say, "Oh, why did you save it?" Well, it makes no difference whether I transferred him in now or transfer him next week. His pricing going to change or anything, so I'll just do it.
Did you
I'll
have
do that now.
two free?
I had 2 free transfers, so I've used one of them, which means, so, well, I brought him in anyway. I knew he wasn't going to play, and people say it's stupid, but to be fair, Kasper Schmeichel wasn't going to play, and I didn't fancy, I couldn't bring any more City or Liverpool players in, so it's not like I could get clean sheets from them. The one thing I could have done was maybe bring in the Wolves keeper as a clean sheet option, but I thought Chelsea would have got a goal or 2 against them, but that was before they sort of turned out and said, yeah, we've got no forwards because we've all got COVID and didn't get the game called off, which again, I'll talk about that later when I have my rants. So in terms of the team though, it's been a great week, and it all comes down to picking the right captain. And if you pick the right captain, people, you'll do well. And I picked the right captain this week. All these people went for the most salad. To be fair, a lot of people transferred in Ollie Watkins and were probably making him captain maybe for the week before it all got turned down by them. But I didn't do that. Earlier, I've done this before actually, and it came off. I think it was the Man United game where I made this guy captain. He got 14 points then, which made it 28 for me. Well, I made him captain again this week. João Cancelo. And everyone's now who was listening to this is going, oh, what a legend this kid is. This State is a legend. He knows.
We named the podcast after Cancelo in response to you captaining. I mean, the guy was insane against United. He was insane the other day.
Yeah. So Cancelo got me 36 points because he got 18 points. And being the legend that I am, captained him, 36 points. Jobs are good. I had a message off Heath actually when he saw that Cancelo had scored, and then he then checked and realised that I captained him, and he messaged me saying, and he sent a gift to me just saying, Captain Cancelo, then just put you fucker basically in a GIF next to it, and I was like, yeah, that's how I roll, kid. That's how I roll. You might get
our banter is off the hook.
Yeah, it was nuts, wasn't it? Absolutely nuts.
People wouldn't be able to handle our banter.
Oh, they just don't know what to do with it, do they? However, he wasn't the only guy who contributed to the team. He got 36 points, yeah, quite a lot, but Diaz got 12 points. Especially, thanks to Kieran Clark, who I'll speak about later as well. Great assist by Kieran Clark, in my opinion, and just deciding to leave the ball. Trent got 7 points. Connor Cody, 7 points for Wolves. Connor Cody's just, not only is he a great guy, but Wolves just keep clean sheets on. They don't concede many, Oh crap! But anyway.
Oh, hold on. There's been 2 one and I think you got away with a couple of and before, so I think you got to have a little bit more than that. Yeah.
Terrible. However, so all those 4 got me lots of points in the back. So my defence has been the standout performance this week. Diogo Jota got 7 points. So again, good week for him. Great header, cracking header. And now he didn't get a penalty. If that's not a penalty, I don't know what is in life. It's cracking. I don't care. I'll drink for that. But shoulder, elbow into his back, and you don't get given a penalty. So that could have been an assist for him as well, because Salah probably would have stepped up and taken the penalty and scored it. But then we go on to Big Mo. I was thinking Mo's not going to have a big week this week. He's had a great season so far. There's only one game week where he's not got a goal or an assist this season. That was the second game week of the season against Burnley. And I thought against Spurs, I just thought, well, the way Conte plays, Salah's not going to find those spaces that he's going to find against most teams. I think Spurs will going to play really deep and just try and really hit on the break, and which is what they did, and they did it very well, in my opinion. So Salah just didn't quite get those opportunities. He did have the odd chance, but he just wanted his day, which happens every now and then. And I think I made the right call. Well, no, I don't think I made the right call. I know I made the right call, because look at the points, guys. So there you go. I even bragged about it on Twitter actually earlier on, and people were like, "Yeah, brave, ballsy call." I went, "It's not brave. It's not ballsy. It's just smart. It's just clever thinking. It's just being better than other people. That's what it is." Okay. So there we go. So Salah got 2 points. Bernardo Silva 2 points. up front. Actually, I only played 8 players this week. This makes it even better because Pookie didn't play. I had 8 players and I got 75 points, guys. I mean, you're just looking at a living legend right now. So well done, me. Yeah, bravo. Ooh. So that gave me the game week. My bench, Holgate didn't play, Samari didn't play, Bamford injured, Norris didn't play. But 75 points off 8 players. Yes, Cancelo got 36, but obviously it's the back line that did it. You know, I got for my defense, I got 48, 55, 62 points from my back four. I mean, you can't have a go at your back four for that, can you? They're all legends this week, legends.
Agreed.
And I hope that one of the City players who were in my team, either Cancelo or Diaz, was one of the guys who then went and got jiggy with that bird.
It had to be Grealish or Foden. I would put money on it being Grealish.
It can't be Grealish. Surely he can't be doing that. He's got to be getting with Emily Attack. You know, he wouldn't get with Charlotte Big Jugs from the in-betweens.
All right, I'm gonna. I mean, that's a really nice point to stop where I'll say, have a drink for a couple of and a yeno.
But and then I got the game week win, 75.66. A great game week though from both of us.
Yeah.
And I'll drink for the other and that's for quoting the
Yeah. We'll both have a cheers for that.
And I'm very happy. I'm going to go into Christmas top of the table with a handsome 12-point lead.
The Christmas number one.
Christmas number one. And, you know, when teams are bottom of the league at Christmas, they tend to not get out of that relegation zone. That's the problem.
I need to get Brian Robson in here. West Brom. He did it with West Brom.
Yeah, well, your team's not going to get rid of you after that game week. You did too well. So it's done well, but great week from us both, I think. And, you know, well done to us both on that. So very happy with it. But then it leads us on to our shit list. I've got a great shit list coming up. I've got some rants going on. I'm going to go on one later. So it's a good thing that Heath gets to go first. Otherwise, I'll be talking for a long time.
Yeah, looking at my team right now, I don't have too many issues with players because they've only come in for 1 week.
Agreed.
I'd say maybe I could have an issue with Mikel Antonio because he still doesn't seem to want to score any points. I'm not going to have any issues with Soufal because I think he was hard done by. So neither of them are really going to make my shit list. Kane's finally scored, so he's off my shit list.
You should have scored more though.
Yeah, of course. And to be fair, I want to put Dele Alli on my shit list just because he annoys me. I just think that guy is just a waste of space. He just winds me up.
He looks good though. He looked lively in the game.
He did the same. He did the same with Mourinho. He looked good in the first couple of games, and then he just went back on himself again and just was able to settle for
I don't think Alisson's
the wages.
I don't think Alisson's been given enough credit for that save from him.
That was, to be fair, a very good save. Yeah,
he still should score. Don't get me wrong, but he has put it into the corner, and those fingertips stop it from going in, and they are very. But you can see the ball deviating from that save.
I think maybe I need to put Dele Alli on my shit list. I've just made an executive decision right now. I'm putting him on my shit list. Do you know the reason why?
Can you say that word again?
What?
Executive. Can you say that properly?
Executive.
No, well done. You sure? One more time, please. One more.
Executive.
Definitely some caution there when you're saying that word.
Executive. Okay. So Dele Alli's definitely on there. I've made an executive decision. I think it's more the "and" that just goes before executive. That's the reason I'm stumbling upon that a little bit. Anyway, Dele Alli's on there because of that dodgy hairdo. I just don't like that whatsoever. It looks like rolled up carpet, and it's all different colours. He's just gone to Carpet Right and gone, oh, I'll have a bit of this, and I'll have a bit of that, and I'll have a bit of this. Just roll it up, and I don't know, maybe that's a bit controversial. It doesn't mean to be. It's just stupid hair. That's as simple as that, really. I hope there's no meaning to that hair I've not read into, and I'm being really, really over the top here. But if there is, I apologise in advance. Anyway, he's on there. I've just made that decision now. No one else from my current team's actually on there. But guess who's come back onto my shit list after many weeks of not being on there? Yep, that's right. Kieran Clark. Back on the shit list again. Back on there for
he's
making
doubling up tonight. He's doubling up.
Back on there for an obvious reason. I'm sure the Dubravka shouted something at him because why would he leave it? But that is another Sunday League error. It's shocking. It's shocking. I honestly watched that game and we're watching something else. And I think it's something like Bargain Hunt or something in the background. Drink.
Yes, drink a bit. Just a little bit. Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit more.
There you go. That's good.
Had it on my iPod, iPad, drink.
It's going well. It's going very well.
I was watching on my iPad. Kieran Clark makes that weird decision. I had to shout because I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
What's he doing?
You are quoting me, State, there. That's exactly what I shouted. You read my mind.
I mean, I was grateful because it meant Ruben Diaz scored a goal back. Just there, what?
But the thing about it is that I think at the time I was quite happy to a certain extent that City had scored because Newcastle are relegation rival, whatever. However, then when I see that State's got both João Cancelo getting the assist and Ruben Diaz who gets the goal and Cancelo's his captain, straight away I'm thinking, hello, Mr. Clark, you are officially on my shit list. You've really fucked me. You basically fucked me. I'll drink for that as well.
But it was atrocious, and back out with his red card the other week, stupid red card against Norwich, winnable game, and you're just there thinking, what's this man doing? And you're thinking, what's he actually doing playing Premier League football as well?
He is a player that that he's had his moments. He's had his ups and downs. I think he got relegated with Villa. I think he's had some solid seasons. To be fair, Newcastle got him, and I don't know if they got relegated with him. I can't remember when he first joined, but I've always thought of him as an average Premier League defender, nothing special. He would never go to the high levels or anything like that, but I've always thought of him as fairly solid. But that Norwich,
what's worrying? He's actually selected by 0.1% people. Who is this 0.1%? They're the biggest idiots in the history of mankind.
I think it'll be hilarious if we go to our mini league update later and we see El Badger Poopers. Kieran Clark captain.
Yeah, that could be an
so Kieran Clark is realistically Dele Alli and Kieran Clark are on my shit list. That's it. That's all I've got. I'm happy the last 2 game weeks, if I'm being honest with you. So State, come on in. Let's have it.
Where do you want me to start? Well, Kieran Clark was on there as well, but I'm not going to go into it because you've explained it perfectly, and I like that. So well done, you. Good work. So first person, none of my squad are on my shit list because I just can't put them on there. Did a great week. Well done. I'll drink for that. But Jurgen Klopp's on my shit list, right? His after-match interview, I had no problem with his comments about the Kane tackle. That should have been a red card, definitely. More than happy for that to be sent off. If Robertson's getting sent off for his, Kane should be sent off for his. Definitely a goer. But Klopp then saying about how Spurs played, we knew they were just going to hoof it long and try and get in behind and stuff like that. I'm like, it wasn't like that at all. They played direct, but they played it quickly, and there were 2 passes, that very specific, and they knew the weaknesses of Liverpool. There were no Van Dijk there, and Spurs can get in behind, and they did because they let Liverpool come on to them. They know Liverpool's fullbacks bomb on both of them, no matter what side it's on, both going forward, and that's what they did. And then Liverpool, and then Klopp says sort of like trying to say, with all our possession stuff like that. Spurs had far better chances. Should have been out of sight at half time, to be honest with you. And I think he sounded very bitter, in my opinion. I love Jurgen Klopp, don't get me wrong. So Liverpool fans don't think I've got a problem with Jurgen Klopp. I don't. I think he's been brilliant for the Premier League. He's always smiling, even when things go against him. He's still smiling. Got great clean white teeth. I wish I had teeth that clean. Maybe it helps being paid 500 grand a week probably for that. But he should. I will drink that one. He should though just appreciate the fact that he's just been out, tactically. Conte just knew what to do, and that's what the best managers do,
And
really.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I thought it was going to be worse, to be honest, after that interview. I was watching it because I was thinking he is the kind of manager that seems to. I just think everyone saw the Kane tackle. Everyone knew it was a red card, apart from, I'm sure you're gonna. I'll drink for that in a minute. But I'm sure you're going to mention that in a minute. But the whole thing is, the referee got it wrong. VAR got it wrong. Fair enough, right? But everyone else knows it's a red card. He doesn't need to come out and say it. Everyone feels sorry for him. The fact is that his player let himself down, Robertson. I tell you what I was interested in. I saw a match today and they said about the two penalties. They did look suspect, but I do think there's something in it where they said that Tierney, the referee, said about Jota that he's waiting for the player to go into him. It doesn't look like you agree with me, but personally, I think that is something that happens a fair bit where players get the ball and then slow down purposefully so the defender goes into the back of you.
He slowed down to take a shot, and I tell you what, and who cares if he does slow down purposely? He's trying to win a penalty, fair enough, but he's got a chance of scoring a goal. It's a clear and obvious penalty. It's an arm into his back. It's not into the shoulder. It's into his back. I mean, it's so blatant. It's unbelievable. I can't even. I've got some Liverpool mates, and I love taking the piss out of them and seeing them angry, but I'd have been fuming about that one. It was a shocking decision, definite penalty. And that brings me on to my next option. But VAR this week has had the biggest mare in the history of mankind, right? You can't even blame so many games because there was only like 4 games all weekend, right? And you've got some huge decisions wrong. So blatantly, football rules have clearly changed over the week before the weekend started, and nobody's told the rest of us about it. So the first one is you're allowed to shove an arm into the back of a player when he's trying to take a shot, and he can go down, and you don't have to give a penalty. And then VAR doesn't have to check and say you made a clear and obvious error there, referee. Because
do you think that they went down a bit soft? Do you not think Jota and Ali went down a little bit soft? Like I'm not suggesting it's not a foul, but do you not think they went down a little bit easy? And given the two players that we're talking about are players who are likely to go down, especially Ali. I don't have a vendetta against him, guys, but I've seen him go down quite easily in the past for England and for Spurs. And I just think that they both have tendencies to go down quite easily. Obviously, you disagree. And this is obviously going to be one of those moments where we agree to disagree. I do think that if I'm watching Watford and that happens to a Watford player, that's a penalty for me. I get that. However, the only thing I would say,
because it's a penalty.
The only thing I would say is that do you not think they went down a little bit easy?
Dele Alli, I'm not as fussed about.
Ali's throwing his arms out as well.
Yeah. Dele Alli didn't wind me up as much at all. I think you see them giving, you see them not. The Jota one is an absolute blatant. It's a stonewall. It's just shocking, absolutely shocking that you can get that wrong, even with that. I mean, the referee even had a great view of that as well. When he's right behind it, where is he looking at? Has he seen some totty in the stands who looks absolutely fit and he was, wolfing down a chicken balti pie or something like that? Because that's something's distracted him because he's blatantly not seen the right thing. So VAR really effective on that. I'll crucially go back onto the midweek game week. Kufal, or Sufal, however you want to pronounce the guy. I'll say Kufal because I'm from the north. But how he got sent off was ridiculous. I mean, it wasn't even a penalty. He got the ball. It was a great tackle. Oh, the follow through. Oh my God, the follow through. Oh my God. Balls to that. He got the ball. It was a good tackle. Then it was given as a penalty. Justice was done that Lacazette missed the penalty. I'll keep it safety. However, he still got a second yellow card and sent off. And you can't appeal red cards when it's 2 yellows. You can't appeal it, so he gets banned for a game unjustly. But then let's go to the Newcastle City game, right? 4-0 was a bit harsh on Newcastle, I must admit. You know, they worked hard, they did well. Joe Linton looked, you know, like a man possessed. They were working his balls off. Yeah, he maybe lacked a bit of quality, but right. So all of a sudden now, the other rule change that came into the Premier League, guys, this weekend was that even when the ball's gone, you're allowed to take out a player and it's not a foul. So basically, I can play football against Heath. The ball's over the other end of the pitch, and then I can just wipe him out and nothing happens to me. That's basically the new rule. So with that, I'm expecting quite a lot of entertainment and, you know, fisticuffs happening in football for the next, for the foreseeable, until they change the rule back to what it used to be. Because Ederson just takes out Ryan Fraser. I mean, Ederson's lost his head there because Cancelo's getting there. Ryan Fraser's not getting to the ball. Cancelo's already there. And then Ederson just wipes him out. And the referee doesn't do anything. And VAR says he's not made a clear and obvious problem. What is wrong with the fucking world? It is shocking. If you go against me here, we're going to have some real serious issues.
We're going to have fisticuffs. No, to be fair, I did watch that and think to myself, that is a penalty. The only thing that goes against it is because he used to play for Bournemouth. Because he used to play for Bournemouth and they used to dive a lot. So that was the one thing that went against Ryan Fraser there.
And again, I mean, okay, he might have used to dive, but I'll tell you what, he's just been wiped out by the goalkeeper.
No,
without even having the ball.
That was a very odd one. I do think though that
odd.
What I don't understand about that is...
What I don't understand is why you're saying it was odd. It was just obvious, not odd. Come on.
No. There was an oddness about that situation because the fact is that Ederson's nowhere near the ball. Fraser's actually nowhere near the ball. Cancelo's got the ball under control. What is Ederson doing? I've no idea. And the fact is it's a penalty. It's a foul. It's a penalty. I can't disagree with you. The oddness about that is why? What's he doing? Why is he... Is it the walls from the surface that's kept him sliding or something? I don't know, because I think in Match Today they showed the highlight, because I think that they showed the highlight before where he had made a mistake and then you could see that he was trying to make up for that, and like you say, he might have lost his head a little bit. But I don't think there's any intent for Ederson to foul Fraser. I think it's just clumsy and stupid, and it's a foul, but it's ridiculous how it wasn't picked up. However, there's no way that Eddie Howe can use that. That was Man City were comfortable. And
they probably they get that penalty and score a goal. All they do is poke a beast and maybe lose 8-1 instead of 4-0.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was never going to win the game. But you know,
but again, this is the one thing I'm getting frustrated about. With I'm hearing it more and more from different managers. So you mentioned Klopp. Hearing it from Eddie Howe about how all these 50-50 decisions are going against Newcastle, etc., etc. I just think use those. Why can't they be clever in their after match kind of conversations with the media? The fact is that realistically, they're not going to get anything out of that game. Just say we were unlucky today. We deserve more. That's all you need to say. Don't bring up all these incidents. End of the day, everyone knows as a neutral, whether you're a City fan, Newcastle fan, Newcastle score that penalty, Man City win 4-1, 3-1. Doesn't matter. There was no way they were going to win that, Newcastle. I'm sorry, Newcastle fans. Liverpool, just, you know, it's a good game of football. 2-2, fair enough. Everyone knows that Kane should have been sent off. You don't need to make it public. You don't need to go on about it. It would look so much better if you just held it back. People would have more respect for you. I can't stand these managers where it's like the world's against them. You know, it just really frustrates you as a football fan, because it's not like that. Everyone has bad decisions go against them. And the thing is, if they kept on going on about it, it would be a really, really boring match a day or whatever.
No, I agree. So that brings me on to my final bit of the shit list. And that's the English Premier League. They're on my shit list. So people might disagree with this, but I just don't see how they could refuse Chelsea's request when they've got 4 cases of COVID and they've cancelled games with other clubs that have had less positive tests. We've had 3. Now, how have they differentiated that? Oh, it's because Chelsea have a better and bigger squad. Actually, every squad has X amount of players that they can select in the squad, and then you can use youth players, I know as well. However, where was the consistency there? Now, they've come out with something today and sort of said, oh, clubs have voted to carry on playing, and the Premier League could turn around and said, right, if you've got 13 fit players plus another goalkeeper, you have to play. That's the rules. Okay, that's fine. We've set the rules now. That's how I play on Saturday. We can only select 14 players. You know, there you go. Fine. But Chelsea made that request, and let's be honest, other clubs have had their games postponed because of COVID reasons. Chelsea didn't. Now, I don't like Chelsea. Don't get me wrong about this. I'm not a big fan of them at all. But there's a bit of injustice there, I think. I think other clubs have been treated, far more favourably than they have just then. And, they've gone and dropped 2 points at the end of the day. They're in the title race at Chelsea. And that is a couple of big points that they've lost out on now.
But I'm not disagreeing with you, but what was the team they put out the other day? The team they put out was a very decent team.
So I'm sure that some of the other clubs could have still put out decent teams, even though they had COVID cases. Why did they?
No, but the whole thing I'm trying to say is that if
so you say basically a bigger squad and the richer clubs shouldn't have their games cancelled.
Basically, yeah, to a certain extent, because the fact is that they spend a lot more money on their squads than the teams lower down in division. The teams who don't spend as much, like if you look at Leeds United's squad,
but you can't do that. You can't have one rule for one, and just because they're in the top 3 and they've got more money, have a different rule for them. It's not like that. It's about setting a precedent, right? If put it this way, you go into court and stuff, and people will set off precedents. They'll quote, right, this is the exact same case came up 3 years ago, and this is what you ruled. And they'll be like, yeah, we've got to follow that. So the Premier League just showed no consistency with that Chelsea game. They've shown it with all the others this season, but they've not come out and said something.
How do you know that? Like I think that what I have understood about the whole situation is they haven't said there's a specific amount of players, and it comes down to the quality of the players being out. So I guess if you've got, take Leeds for an example, if Rafinha's injured, if Rafinha's got COVID, if Bamford's got COVID, if the goalkeeper's got COVID, whoever, like Messier, I guess that's different, right? And you've got 4 or 5 other people or whatever. But the thing is with Chelsea is that what I'm trying to say is that they and Man City and Arsenal and Liverpool can all
Chelsea not weaker from having players like Lukaku, Werner out there up front. They had Pulisic, who isn't a natural forward striker. He plays out wide. He's a great player, don't get me wrong. Right? So he was there. Chalobah had to play midfield. Kante had to come back early to play. Kovacic is not fit to play. He had to be named on the bench, right? Because they had 4 or 5 COVID cases, right? And that it's just
they can't like play. The fact is that if a player's injured, right? So the whole thing is that they take into consideration injuries. So like,
then they played unfit players to make sure they fulfill the fixture.
But then that's their problem.
Realistically, it's the Premier League's problem because
they shouldn't be playing. They shouldn't be playing injured players.
They shouldn't be playing full stop because they have COVID cases like other clubs have, and they've not been fairly treated there. Like I said, I don't like Chelsea, but they have not been fairly treated there.
All I'm saying is that as much as I agree with you, there shouldn't be one rule for one and for another, but I don't think the Premier League made it clear exactly what the rule was, so therefore no one exactly knew. But the whole thing is that, of course, most teams are going to be calling for these games to be called up if you've got some COVID cases. The fact is that obviously they didn't have enough to call it off. It's as simple as that. And other teams did. That's all I know. I mean, how do you know how many players got, COVID to be called off in the other games?
I will put.
No. You can't say this. You have to know.
I will put your life.
Your
life savings. I will put your life savings on. that
well played.
Their games called off, and I will put your life savings on. Other games were called off, and they had the same amount of players test positive with COVID or less.
They might have done, and I guess in that situation, I agree with you. You definitely shouldn't have one rule for one and one rule for the other. The only thing I would say is that if that Chelsea team came up against, anyone next week, I wouldn't look at it and go, "Oh my God, that is a really weak Chelsea team." Of course, you're right. They don't have Lukaku and Werner, but the fact is, Werner can't finish his dinner, and Lukaku's been injured all season anyway. So they've had to rely on other players. That's just part and parcel of what happens when you get injuries.
Well, and so have other clubs. They've got squads, so why can't they play them? Oh, it's because they're not as good at players. Well, again, that's not Chelsea's fault. They've got more money. They've got an owner who's invested in the club, and because they've been classed as the more attractive club to somebody who wanted to invest money in them.
I'm not defending the Premier League, by the way. I'm just saying that my point is that Chelsea had a good team out still, irrelevant of what you're saying. I'm just saying that I still think they had a very good team out and they should have won that game on paper. But I will say the other thing, I actually think you're right in a way, though, that the Premier League should be on your shit list because there's no way that these next set of games should be being played. They should just have, and this is a TV money, basically.
They made the stupid decision of letting the clubs decide. And the clubs have all said, "Oh yeah, let's play." So then they've put in that rule of like, "Oh, if you've got 13 fit players and plus one keeper, then you have to play." And that's then gonna it'll bring up the it's maybe an unfair advantage type thing. But Premier League's got an unfair advantage because there's certain clubs with more money than others. So there's always an unfair advantage when it comes to that. If it was a fair league, every club would have the same budget, same money. Or they'd all have to work with the same salary cap, and that's it. But I'm sorry. I think the Premier League's been but the problem is they're giving too much power to the clubs now. So the clubs made the decision. I agree with you. They should have been turning around and saying, I love Boxing Day. It's the day I get most drunk over Christmas on Boxing Day because I've cooked on Christmas Day, so I don't get as drunk. I drink plenty, but I just can't get as drunk. Boxing Day is great for football or sport. You get football, rugby, you get it all on Boxing Day. You got this year you have the Ashes Test match, which has been a disastrous moment. But you've got all of that. I'll drink for the button.
Do you know what? That's the first and button for about, I'd say, 20 minutes. I think we're doing all right.
So it's just they really pissed me off, and that's why they're on my shit list as well.
No, I get that completely, and I don't I don't disagree with that. I think we could talk about this all day, but I think that there's a lot of issues right now, and I think that the transparency is really lacking. That's the most important thing here. You have to, as a football fan, you want to know what the rules are. Where is the line? There's offside. There's onside. That's as simple as that. That's where the line is. You don't want to have these shades of grey when it comes to these decisions. Anything really. You want it to be clear and obvious. And I think that the Premier League's definitely let themselves down. 100%. Totally agree with you. So I think we need to move on, though, because we could be talking about that all night. And I think most football fans right now are talking about it and are just as frustrated. So let's move on to the North versus South score predictions / results.
Yeah, it's a bit of a difficult one because a few of the games got cancelled. So, we had Brentford Man United got cancelled. We both went for Man U. So Norwich Villa played. Heath put it down for the draw. I went for the Villa win. Villa won. So that was a 1-0 to me. Yes, son. Oh, go on, laddie. Then that is no quote from a film. That was just me being a div. So just so everyone knows that. Then we had Brighton Wolves, which played. Heath went Brighton. I went for the draw. Wolves actually won the game 1-0.
Yeah, that was Brighton had a really weak team out, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
But Wolves, Wolves as always solid at the back. I play a game called Super Brew. If anyone else plays it, we predict results and everything. Which I think, to be fair, that might be a better bet for us to actually do our predictions thing. We could do it through Super Brew and logs it quite nicely.
There are other prediction sites out there, by the way, guys.
There are true. Super Brew's free as well, just so you know. Yeah.
There are probably other prediction sites that are also free.
Yeah, but I'm not I am not got shares in the company or anything, so just so you know that.
Not
yet. Yeah. But as I just said, I will drink again. So neither of us got a point there. Burnley Watford got cancelled as well. Leicester Spurs cancelled. Then Chelsea Everton. We both went Chelsea. It was a 1-1 draw. So because of all those things, I actually won this week because I picked Villa to win and Heath didn't, and the others we didn't get right out of 3 games that were actually played out of 6. So we there were nothing good really came from that. So it was a bit of a poor week for us on that front. However, we do have coming up. We have Boxing Day, folks.
Yes.
Boxing Day has our new predictions, and we've got a full. At the moment, we have a full calendar of fixtures across the Sunday and the Monday, which is the ones we'll be covering because there's 9 games scheduled for Sunday and 1 for the Monday. That's actually 10. I'll drink for that as well.
Yeah, there's a biggie.
There isn't that many in terms of the.
Oh, there's another.
Yeah, there isn't much North-South divide, but as it's a Christmas special, we're going to do the full 10 because the other reason is a good chance that not all 10 games will get played anyway. So we go with the first game, which is Liverpool versus Leeds. Leeds are shipping goals more than
chips.
Well, yeah, I can't even find the right thing. Trying to use celebrity who's recently been charged with drink driving when she was banned as well, Katie Price. But I just didn't want to get slandered for that. You never know. So, but Liverpool Leeds.
What you can do though is you can drink for those free budums. So Liverpool for me, 100%. I'm pretty sure Liverpool for you.
Yeah. Then Wolves Watford.
I will go for a draw. 0-0 draw.
Well, Wolves don't concede many goals, do they?
That's what I've got.
Watford like scoring though.
Yeah.
But you're going for the draw.
Yeah.
I'm going for the Wolves win, to be fair. I think they'll get a 1-0 victory there out of that one. Then we've got Burnley versus Everton.
Oh, I'll go for another draw there.
Draw. I'm going to go for a draw as well. There's 2 draws there. Then we've got City Leicester.
Man City. Hard to go against them at the moment, but go for it.
Yeah, no, I'm not going against them. Why would I go against them?
You had that look in your eyes if you were thinking, I might do something crazy here, but I'm not going to right now.
No, not this moment. There's a couple other games where I could go a bit crazy. But, Norwich Arsenal, I'm going with Arsenal.
Yeah, I'll go Arsenal. That actually could be the one that you could go for. But
yeah, something could happen. Arsenal have definitely got the capabilities to feck up a game like that, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'll go Spurs for Spurs Palace.
Yeah, I'm going to have to follow you on that one. I think Spurs at the moment under Conte are already starting to show those improvements. So yeah. So that's fair enough. West Ham, Southampton.
West Ham.
You going West Ham?
Yeah.
I'm going for a draw. West Ham aren't sort of flowing at the moment. It's just some are not quite, some are not quite going there.
Yeah.
So yeah, thinking that Villa Chelsea. This is interesting.
Go on then, mate. What are you thinking?
I'm going to go for a draw.
Yeah, I thought you were going to go for that. I'll go for Chelsea.
Yeah. I mean, I just think, Chelsea have got the COVID cases, obviously. So,
yeah, no, true, yeah.
And Villa are in great form under Stevie G. Brighton, Brentford. Oof.
I'll just go for a narrow Brighton win.
I'm going for Brighton win. I'm going to go for a draw there. So, yeah. Newcastle, Man United. I'm going Man United.
Do you know what? This is actually I saw this the other day. I thought this is the one where Newcastle could actually get. I'll go for a draw here. I think Newcastle, they're going to get a big result soon. I think this might be it.
Is a draw a big result, really?
For Newcastle, it's a big result.
Big draw for Newcastle.
I don't know. I mean, Yeah, it's tempting to go for Man United because, right? I don't know. No, I'll stick with what I've gone for. I'll go Newcastle. I'll go for a Newcastle. I'll go for a draw.
Fair play. So there we go. We've got us some predictions in for Boxing Day. I'll drink for that. What an absolute mare I'm having today. If you calculate the fines throughout this podcast, I'm definitely in front. As I have been all season, I've been winning.
Hey, throw that one in there.
Good measure, wasn't it? Good measure.
It was.
So one to our North versus South mini league updates, which and that's another one. But Heath will provide us with the updates this week, which I'm really glad for, and you'll find out why in a very short moment. But Heath, what's gone on in the main league update?
So, like I try to make sure that I start from the bottom and work my way up to the top, because I don't think that you really should be, I don't know, glamorizing the teams who are down the bottom, who are struggling in the relegation zone. So, well, we've had two horrendous stinkers, and you can only feel for them because obviously they've not really changed their team. We've got Sam Diamond with High Tech FC, got 5 points. Hugo Lloris got him the 4 points. Fortunately, he had his vice captain on Lloris, so he got 4 points. And Roberto Firmino, of all people, got him 1. But the rest of his team didn't play. It's just an absolute stinker. And obviously, Sam's not checking his team, which is fair enough. And
Chalobah played. He only did 45 minutes, though, so he got 0, and he got booked, so he got 0 points.
Good shout. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you've had a bad one, you've had a bad one. Then Joe Hadley only got 1 point more. Again, another person who's probably not checking his team. All his points came to one player, and that was Mason Mount. It got him the 6 points, so he had the vice captain on Mount. So they both had really big stinkers down the bottom. Then we move on. I think looking at it, looks like Harrison Copley, only the 16. He made 2 transfers. Looking at his team, Rafinha, Jota. He had his captain and his vice captain not playing. So again, another person who probably got hit by these COVID cases. To be fair, guys, I do have sympathy for you massively. I think it's a real shit show right now. Where I
need to say one thing about our man Harrison. So he's had a northern team all the way through, but he's made an error. He's now got a Burnley player a Brentford player in his squad.
How's that happened? Yeah, that's a really good shout.
Charlie Good in his squad, so he is now eliminated from the actual North versus South people. He's still allowed in the group in the league. If he rectifies it in the next week, we will allow him back into that, very, exclusive club.
Yeah. I mean, first we'll have a few drinks for those but also Harrison, you've had him in since the 8th of November. How have we not actually picked up on that? I do not know. So Ned Stark's my dad. He got a lot of, I'll have a drink.
This podcast is just going to be full of herbs and books.
It is. So let's move on to the positive stuff. So we have some stinkers down the bottom. Really good shout there, State, with Harrison's team. Harrison, please get him out. Get good out. Let's have a look at Eddie's team, Eddie Moran. So he's stuck with the Southern teams. He has got Kane was his vice captain, Odegaard, Rudiger, Aspilicueta, 36 points. Yeah, okay. Like we say, the drink. Okay. Anyway, so I think looking at the rest of them, we got Chris Harrigan, 46 points. He had Lacazette's captain with Son and Kane, Saka. He had a fair few players who weren't playing as well, to be fair to him.
It's not bad. You didn't have players.
Yeah, not
average with the number of players not playing. I think you've done well. You've had a good week.
I agree. And then the big man, I'm in the top 10 finally. I think that realistically I should be up there, and I'm closing in on Brad Utteridge, who was top of the league at one point. Yeah, we were all kind of raving about him, and he's a stinker.
Bad choices in life. He made substitutions on Saturday morning. He brought Martinez in. He thought Villa were playing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Kick a man while he's down, on Saturday morning.
Look at his team, like shit. To be honest with you, let's be honest about life. Gas.
So you actually high scored this week. So
I know,
75,
and
you've gone into the top. You've gone into the top 4, mate.
Champions League.
That's impressive. You've gone
Champions League spot.
It's really impressive. In fact, I want to shout out Dirty Sancho, Paul Pond as well with 73. He also played his free hit, brought in Cancelo. He had Edison James. Oh, that's a great back five there. Edison James, Alexander Arnold, Rudiger, Cancelo.
I know a better back five.
All right. Then he's got Saka, Smith Rowe, Salah, Jota, Lacazette, and the only person who didn't score was Bernardo. Actually, obviously, Salah didn't score. He got 4 points.
He made the right captain pick.
And also, he's got Connor Cody on the bench if he had brought him in. So, although I do want to point out one person who in the previous game week 17. Now, have a look at MM. Right, look at his game week 17 score, 88 points. Right, Edison, Alexander-Arnold, White, Cash, Salah as captain, Zaha, Jota, Grealish, Mount, Watkins. Now that's an interesting team. They all got points, big points. Anderson was the only person in his whole 11 who didn't get, I drink for that, but didn't get more than 6 points. Impressive, really impressive week.
Good 4-5-1 formation.
Anyway, I thought I'd shout that out because obviously we're not really talking about game week 17 that much. Yeah, so
I wasn't brilliant in game week 17. That's what I want to talk about anyway.
So we have to say, and so Mike Matthews is currently in second place, but there's a big gap between him and John Rogerson. John Rogerson, Betty Swallocks FC. He's got 51 points this week, got 68 points the week before. The guy is on form. There's no stopping at the moment. He's even brought in Sterling. He's got Jota. He had Diaz as well. He just knows what he's doing. So I would just say anyone who's looking to challenge Betty Swallocks, well, you're going to have to offer a fair bit to be able to get close to him by the looks of it. Definitely. And at the moment, he's our Christmas number 1, and the chances are I think it's going to take a lot for him to be caught, but there's a long way to go.
Heath, do you want to know something really exciting? And you're going to love this.
Go on.
Up until yesterday, so after the game we just went on, you are currently top the manager of the month as things stand. I mean, it's titled there. You're on 239 in December. You're having a good December.
In your face, Betty Swallocks FC. He's on face.
He's on 236. He's on 236. Then there's me and Dirty Sancho both on 230. So I mean, don't get me wrong. You're a week away from being back down in like 6th or 7th place.
Yeah, but, and rightly so. Yeah.
Great start. Great December so far, mate. Really good.
I'm really, really pleased you brought that up because I didn't have a huge amount to celebrate apart from that. But thank you.
I always think that when a man's down, try and pick him up. That's what you got to do.
You've been doing that all podcast because as soon as you start getting a bit cocky, you throw in a few buttons and
I've done it all seasons and all podcasts. You go back through most episodes, it's pretty much me having to pick you up. Just having a mare, son. Having a mare.
All right, let's move along. Let's go on to our feature that we brought along last week. So last week we started this new feature called On the Spot, which is all about the idea of having some spontaneity within the podcast. As I said last week, as people who know that we're going to be on a podcast, we do our research before we come on the podcast. We do have an opinion that we'd like to express. This is a chance for both of us to get a spontaneous answer. We're going to give you 5 questions. I'm going to offer State 5 questions. He's going to offer me 5 questions. We're going to have one that we can elaborate on. And yeah, State, you're up first, mate.
Excellent. So Heath, there is 5 questions here. You get to elaborate on one of them. You get to pick the one you elaborate on as well.
Cool.
So you won't know if you decide to elaborate on the first question, then you can't elaborate on the next four. So it's whether you gamble or not. You know, what do you do? What do you do here? It's like, you know, you get the 10 grand chip and they say, well, flip a coin, you can go for 20 grand if you get it right. So there you go. That's where we're at.
You'll find out the kind of gambler I am in about 5 minutes. Go on.
He's a shit gambler, guys. Just so you're aware. He'll definitely pick the wrong one. So anyway, right, let's start off with something simple. Should FPL have allowed unlimited transfers this past weekend?
No.
Fair enough.
Can't be bothered to elaborate. Next.
Should football teams revamp their team names? For example, like Rugby League and Rugby Union, putting like Leicester Tigers, Leeds Rhinos in Rugby League. Should football teams revamp their team names?
It's a categorical no from me. Absolutely no. Not going to elaborate.
Should Boris just lock down the south of England?
No, not going to elaborate.
He should, though. The other ones who seem to be struggling with it.
We're having a great time down here. Don't ever go at us.
Christmas tree decorations, tinsel or beads?
Tinsel. No elaboration.
Tacky.
It's all on this next one. I've got to elaborate on this next one. Whatever it is.
Yorkshire puddings on Xmas Day, yes or no?
Oh, 100%. I can elaborate on this, right? So I have been trying to make my own Yorkshire puddings for a couple of years now. I had a stinker on Sunday. They just were flat, and I had I was really
annoyed
at
myself.
myself.
Did you put in?
2. I know it wasn't about the eggs. It was all just about the amount of the eggs. It was about the sunflower oil, how much I put in. I put way too much in. But the fact is that you cannot have a roast dinner without having Yorkshire puddings. I don't care if you're northern or southern.
Dinner down south, then.
Of course it is, yeah. It's a tradition down here as much as it is up there. And I know Yorkshire pudding is a northern thing, but
mate,
we can like them as much, you know.
You need more eggs in your mix.
No, you don't want to be too eggy.
Just me. You do.
I don't trust you whatsoever.
I make Yorkshire puddings with every single roasting I do, and they all rise because I put more eggs in them too.
It's not. No. All right, I'm glad we are elaborating.
How much flour and milk do you put in?
So 70 grams of flour, 2 eggs, 150 mils of milk, and some sunflower oil.
There you go, you fucking mix all wrong. And this is coming from a Yorkshireman who knows how to cook Yorkshire.
Just because you're from Yorkshire doesn't mean you know the best way to make a Yorkshire pudding.
Your Yorkshire puddings rise this weekend?
Not this weekend, but
mine rise all the time.
In the past, they have risen, and I've made some incredible Yorkshires. I will send you pictures later.
Oh, that's great.
They're like kind of nudes or something like that.
Yeah. With the measurements you use, mate, just throw in one more egg, and you'll be fine.
I don't want it to be too eggy. Anyway, there's my my elaboration, and I think I'm all out of beer, so just give me 1 second. Okay, so let's move on to my set of questions for State. So my first question is, and I'm not going to give him the option, by the way, to elaborate on one. I'm asking him to elaborate on one. So my first question is, how do you keep up with the FPL deadlines during the Christmas period in previous years?
I just get lucky.
I can't elaborate because I can't ask you. I don't want you to elaborate on that. Okay, fair enough. Have you ever attended a Boxing Day game?
Yes.
Elaborate. Tell me more.
So I was a Rotherham United season ticket holder for many years, so we went to a number of Boxing Day games. The one that sticks into memory most was when I was actually at university. I came home on Christmas and we played Huddersfield Town at home, and I was actually couldn't get a ticket in the Rotherham end, but a couple of my mates who were Huddersfield fans had a spare ticket in the away end. So I went to my own team's game in the away end when they played Huddersfield Town, and we got there. One of the lads was driving, my best mate was driving, and then we was like, "Oh, what pubs should we go in?" And I just went, "I only know Rotherham pubs, so it's a bit hard." We were outside this pub, which is a pure Rotherham one. One of my mates went in, and he clearly had his Huddersfield Town scarf on. And they went, "You're not allowed in here, kid," and off you go. I walked in knowing I knew with him, and I just pulled off my coat, had my Rotherham shirt on. He was like, yeah, you can go in. Your mates can just have the drink outside. But anyway, we went there. Rotherham were 1-0 up after about 40 minutes, I think. Huddersfield equalised last 5 minutes. They all nuts. And yeah, I had to just stand there and go in and bear it. It was very upsetting. But yeah, Boxing Day game, brilliant. You get some beers down you and stuff like that. I mean, I don't get to do that anymore. I've got family commitments now. But Boxing Day games, always good. Even when I was not drinking, when I was like a 10-year-old, still loved it. You had that special feeling about Boxing Day again.
Perfect, mate. I love that. That's what I was hoping for. I had a feeling that you were a season ticket holder back in the day, so I kind of thought you would have gone, but I like that. Okay, quick fire questions now for the last 3. Do you open presents in the morning or in the afternoon for Christmas Day?
Morning. Why would you open them in the afternoon?
So my uncle and his family always give us like shit about opening presents in the morning. They always wait till after dinner, after roast dinner.
We'll save a few presents for the little man this year, because some family will come over in the afternoon. But for me, yeah, always in the morning.
Nice.
Why wait?
What's the greatest ever Christmas present you've received? What's the first thing that stands out?
Probably my first ever bike.
Cool.
Yeah.
Don't want you to elaborate. I know you want to. Sounds so harsh, but it's just part of the game. What is bike? I'd say this last question could be quite interesting to see what you say after our previous conversation. What is the best part of a Christmas dinner?
2 meats.
Go on. Oh no, I can't. You can't. Well, I suppose what meat is it? I guess if you go.
Well, obviously everyone has a turkey, but I also do a fantastic ham as well, which I cook in slow cooker initially, and then the last 20 minutes smother it in a chili relish, and then throw it in the oven at really high, so it makes it really sticky. So you get sticky ham on top, and as well as your turkey. Okay,
well, I'll give you that elaboration there, even though I didn't ask for it, but fine.
Well,
I just edit that out. No one wants to hear that.
Of course they do. It's mouth-watering. Why would we want to hear about that?
Okay, well, nice. I really was hoping you would say Yorkshire pudding, and you didn't. I kind of feel like to a certain point, then you might actually deep down really love the Yorkshire pudding, but you didn't want to say it just to be predictable. But fine.
I do, but they are always there. They have to be there.
If you make such good Yorkshire puddings, why aren't they your favourite part of the Christmas? I mean, I'm throwing this extra question just because I can and I will.
I'll answer it pretty quick.
I will answer it.
I'm a carnivore. I'm like a T-Rex.
Fair enough.
I eat meat.
Fair enough.
Meat is the main, the key thing about a Christmas dinner is the meat. That's the showstopper. Because there are weirdos out there who don't have Yorkshire puddings with their Christmas dinners. But the meat is a constant. You have to have the meat. I don't care about these veggies and vegans. My mum's a veggie, my sister's a vegan. Losers, a lot of them. Don't care. Meat is the mom.
That's the title of this week's podcast.
Yeah, veggies and vegans.
Veggies are anyway, so that's our on the spot. I hope you enjoyed that. We had a bit of a Christmas theme to it. I mean, realistically, you might have got something out of it. You might not have done.
I liked it. I thought it was really good. It now leads us on to our game week preview this week, which is so me and Heath will preview our teams, what we're going to do. I would imagine we don't fully know what we're going to do at the moment, given that although the Premier League in their wisdom have said the games will go ahead, you have to play if you've got 13 fit players and a spare goalkeeper. But who knows? It'll be a late call. It'll be a drunken Christmas evening call, I would imagine, for a lot of people, or a hungover Boxing Day morning call. So, Heath, what are you thinking? Drunken Christmas evening or hungover Boxing Day morning? What are you fancying?
No, look, I'll be honest with you. If you're not doing this already, please do this. Don't rush into your transfers. Everyone's saying on Twitter at the moment, don't play your transfers too early, because realistically, I found out the hard way that even playing it half an hour before the deadline screwed me over. it's just ridiculous. I'm not going to allow it to happen again. I've got no plans whatsoever to leave the house on Boxing Day. I have got plans on Christmas Day, but that's not going to be a problem because obviously they're all playing on Boxing Day and the deadline's on Boxing Day. If you need to know the deadline, it is 11 o'clock on Boxing Day. So just an FYI, if you need to know that. And that was the reason why I asked to stay earlier, because I do think it's quite a hard period to kind of keep up with the I'll drink for that, but with the deadlines and stuff.
Very tough. I agree, mate. And I think you know you just gotta wang it. Like I said I got lucky because I do anyway. Because I just I'm pretty drunk most of the Christmas period, and I just sort of like wang it, and I'm like, oh, I'll have a look at my team. I might make this is the dangerous part for making transfers, which will cost you points as well, in my opinion. Yeah, you can make some great drunken mistakes in this period.
There's a few yinos and a few bottoms, and there's a few in there, mate. Have a few drinks for that.
I'll drink.
Anyway, so I've got
Ramsdale. You start with your preview, yeah.
I've got Ramsdale in goal. They've got Norwich away. I've got Rudiger, James, Cucurella, Soufal, Lamptey. So Chelsea have got Villa away. Brighton have got Brentford at home. Soufal has got Southampton at home. And then I'm going to go with Mount, Smith Rowe, definites. They're definitely going to be in my midfield. Now, so I've got Zaha, Gallagher, and Sissoko. And I'm thinking that I don't necessarily want to keep them all. But this could be a bit of a sin. I might take out Sissoko. I've got so much money in the bank at the moment, but I really desperately want to bring in Son. I just think that I drink for that. I need to bring in Son because Spurs are playing again. He's not affected by COVID by the looks of it. Played the other day, played all right. Now, the other person I could try and bring in maybe is Kane. It's tough because looking at Watkins, he's still got a good set of fixtures. He's got Chelsea at home, but after that, he's got Leeds and Brentford away. And then he's got a really good set of fixtures after that as well. So it's quite tough. The one thing I'm thinking of doing, like I say, try to bring Son back into my team somehow. I think looking at Crystal Palace, given that they're playing Norwich the week after, or I say the week after, but the next game week, I don't want to risk taking either Gallagher or Zaha out. So I think it might be Sissoko. He might have to take the cut. I know, mate. I don't want to do it. Want to do it, but it looks like I might have to do it.
I mean, we're going to lose all street cred.
But he can. I'm going to have a wild card. He could come back. And to be honest, like even Zaha or Gallagher, once I get past that Norwich game, I'll be looking to take one of them out anyway. The whole reason why I got double Palace was for Watford and Norwich coming up, but Watford game got called off. So I don't know when they're going to replay that. So at the moment, I have got a 5-3-2. I've got Dennis and Antonio up front at the moment. But like I say, I want to get Zaha out and I want to bring in Son. And I think if I bring in Son, I think I'll make him captain. So that's my team. And just to remind you guys, I've got Foster, Gallagher, Watkins, and Sissoko on the bench. But if I bring in Son, it'll be for Sissoko, and Zaha will be on my bench instead.
But for having such a good statement there, where you barely said any of the key words that make us drink. You can drink for being perfection.
Thanks. I did actually drink. When you said that.
No, drink some more. No, good. I like your thinking. I think you're showing. Look, although Heath is not doing as great as me because obviously he hasn't got the ability this season.
Hold on. I haven't got the guile. Do you remember guile?
Yeah,
guile.
What a word. Heath has done well. He's giving you some good pointers. Yeah, I won't repeat it too much, but yeah, leave it until as late as possible. See what's going to happen, and don't make any drunken mistakes on Christmas Day night. They could really screw up your FPL over Christmas. If you make mistakes over FPL Christmas,
I'm keeping my fingers crossed. That's what you do, Sunshine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. I'm definitely a risk. I am high risk alert on that. I'm probably going to do something drastic. Like I said to the missus, look, confiscate my phone, hide it somewhere. Don't let me look at it until about 9 o'clock Boxing Day morning. So that might be my way to go. I've got 2 free transfers for this game week. So I've got to get rid of Bamford because he's out for God knows how long now. So he's going to go. And then it's just about what I do with other things, to be honest with you. I think there's Leicester are obviously playing against Man City, so it's not ideal for them. But I've only got 2. Leicester's next 2 games, I've got City and Liverpool, so the 2 tough games, but then they've got 3 very nice games after that. So it's probably Maddison's going to stay in there, and Will Samara is just going to become my Musa Sissoko, to be fair. Just the cheap guy who get 2 points for you, might get a pot if he gets booked, might get an extra point if they ever keep a clean sheet, not that they do. So it's a bit hard at the moment for me to say, but God, I need a drink for that. I will be, obviously, there's Diaz, there's Cancelo, there's Alexander-Arnold and Cody. They're all going to stay there. De Gea in net. Those 5 are going to all be playing this game for me. Jota and Salah and Bernardo, they're going to play. Jimenez for Watford's going to play. I'm not going to transfer Pookie out because I'm lacking options, to be honest with you. So it's just about making transfers. Do I keep James Maddison in for a bit longer? Oh, to be fair, Bernardo Silva may even come out. Who knows? Because he's had a really good run of form, but then the last few games not been as much. Pep's now starting to go with his Pep roulette. I think now, if you've probably seen that, haven't you? Now, Heath, it's like they played Leeds 1-7-0. Foden, Grealish, they all started. And, Sterling didn't get on at all. Then they played Newcastle. Foden and Grealish on the bench. Sterling were back in. Mahrez is playing again at the moment. So it's a bit difficult with City players. I think you've got to, if you're looking at City players, keep with the defenders. Cancelo's always going to play. He's the star fullback at the moment. If Walker plays, Cancelo plays left back. If Walker doesn't play, Cancelo plays right back, and Zinchenko plays left back. Diaz always plays. He's the capitan, and he's their solid centre half. He's like their Van Dijk to Liverpool, so he's always going to play. So if you're picking City players, them 2 are dead certs. Ederson's also a dead cert, and I think you're not far wrong there because they've kept 9 clean sheets this season already, City. So you guaranteed that, and they score goals. Cancelo, he's only got 1 goal, but he's got 6 assists so far. He gets bonus points. Diaz, he's got a couple of goals. So if you're looking at City players, then 2 are probably mainstays.
They've got to be like Cancelo's got to get rested at some point. Him and Diaz. They'll have to get rested in the next couple of games. One of maybe
Cancelo
it'll be like
started every game around the game where we banned.
banned. Yeah, so that was his rest, I guess. Maybe
so he had his week off there, so he's probably not going to rest.
Diaz actually got taken off as well in the Newcastle game, so maybe that is his rest.
Diaz has, he got rested in 1 game. I think a while back against when they played Everton, he didn't play. But I think again, Pep knows this is a crucial period. He knows that if they just keep solid now, they win their next 3 or 4 games. It's just sending that big message out, and Liverpool have 3 points behind them now. Liverpool have got in January. There's not loads of Premier League games in January, which is good for Liverpool because they obviously lose Salah and Mane. But Pep knows this. He's not stupid. He knows we grab it by the jugular right now. We go out there and we keep winning. We keep punishing teams. We play these things, and he knows that. Look, City have conceded the least amount of goals this season. Conceded 9 goals in 18 games this season. 9 goals in 18 games. 0.5 a game. And they scored 44. So it's not like they're not scoring goals. Liverpool scored 50, conceded 15. They're both on plus 35 goal difference, so it's great. But it's City just the meaning defence. They're not conceding, and Pep knows this is a crucial time. They've got a run of fixtures. He's going to play his best defence most of the time because he knows that their team's going to keep the ball more often than not. So the defenders aren't going to get as hard of a working over as other teams. It's their midfield and the front men that he rotates more, because they're the ones who are working harder to make the openings a lot more.
The fact is that I think this time last year, City did the same thing. They just got the league by the jugular and just ran with it, didn't they? And there was no catching them once they got the lead.
Yeah, they probably ran away with it last season, and it was Liverpool had injuries and it affected them. It'll be about how can Liverpool handle not having Salah and Mane.
Nice. Okay. Did you say your captain as well? Who your captain was going to be? Did I miss that?
It's Salah's going to be the captain this week.
Yeah.
They're playing Leeds. Leeds are shipping goals.
They're pretty fragile at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, just a little bit. And the problem is, they're missing some key players. Leeds, Calvin Phillips is crucial. Bamford's crucial. Bamford's been missing most of the season, I know, but Calvin Phillips, not only is he really good football, but what he does defensively for the team is massive, and the back four's fragile anyway, and they don't have that protection in front of them. So you've got to think Salah's going to be having some fun this week.
Field day, yeah, probably. Okay, well, that's the game week preview. I think, like most podcasts right now, it's Christmas. You want to talk about Christmas things. You want to get into the spirit. So this week's quiz, I've decided that I want to basically dive into State's head to see what he'll remember from Premier League footballers. I've 12 altogether, got one manager. All the rest of them are ex-Premier League players. They've all got some kind of Christmas connection to their name. So State, I'm going to basically tell you the teams they played for. You've got to tell me the name of the player and what is their connection to Christmas. If State gets the name and the Christmas vibe right, then I'll drink. If he gets the player right but doesn't get the Christmas theme, neither of us drink. If he doesn't get the name right or the Christmas theme, he drinks. Okay? We'll start off with the first one, which is maybe quite an easy one. Palmeiras, Man City.
Oh, I'll drink what I think.
You don't have to drink what you think.
Jesus.
Yeah. Gabriel, Jesus, basically Gabriel and Jesus. It works, right? Yeah. So I'll drink for that one. The next one is, okay, Villarreal, Rectivio Helva. I'll drink for that. Villarreal again. Malaga, Arsenal, Villarreal again, Al Said.
The guy's called Santa. His last name's Cazorla.
There you go. Santa Cazorla. Okay, I'll drink for that.
What a player.
It was actually quite painful for me. I was hoping you weren't going to get that one. The next one, Metz, Rennes, Watford.
I'm going to take a wild stab at this. It doesn't sound like it's Christmassy though, at all. Emmanuel Dennis.
Ismail Assar.
He was the second choice.
Have a drink.
I didn't know where Assar came from, to be fair. I thought he came from an Italian side.
I want to actually understand what you think Emmanuel and Dennis has to do at Christmas.
I knew that while answering it.
Is that when you stuck on Channel 5 back in the day, only at Christmas to watch your favourite programme?
I just didn't have confidence in the Ismail Assar. I thought Ismail Assar was over at the Italian club in Udinese. I thought he played some time there, and when you said the other thing, that threw me off, Ismail Assar being the player.
Fair enough. Okay, well, I think this next one should be a bit easier. Leeds, Aston Villa, Man City, Everton.
Leeds,
Aston Villa, Man City, Everton.
Fabian dELF.
What's the Christmas connection?
I honestly don't know, but I know it's Fabian dELF.
Think about it. What has Fabian dELF got to do with Christmas?
Play football at Christmas once in his lifetime.
You don't have to drink for this because you got the right player. Fabian Elf.
It's not even spelled the same, is it?
It's not meant to spell the same. Santa Cazorla is Santi Cazorla. It's Santa Cazorla.
Yeah, but you know it's Santa, don't you?
Ishmael Star. His name is Sar. Fabian dELF. I've just taken away the D and the PH and put an F.
Not changed much then, have you? That's all.
Anyway, you get. I think I'm going to drink for this next one. Newcastle, Liverpool, West Ham, Newcastle, Reading.
Andy Carroll sings the carols.
I'll drink, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
That should have been the first one because that's arguably the easiest one. But I thought Jesus would have been. The next one's extremely hard.
Excellent. Oh, this should be fun.
Porto, Barcelona, Chelsea, Fluminense.
Porto,
Barcelona, Chelsea, Fluminense.
So Porto, Barcelona, Chelsea. That's the link I need to find. I couldn't do a shit about Fluminense. Porto, Barcelona, Chelsea. There's one from Barcelona to Chelsea. Oof. Deco.
Yep, and what's
the
it got
decorations?
Yes, yes. I'll drink for that happily. How good is that? Decorations.
That's very good. I like how you thought there. And I must admit, I was struggling there. The Chelsea Fluminense thing flummoxed me a little while. But
Fair play, mate.
Then I found the link of Deco. What a player he was. Lovely little China, little man.
Okay, next one, very difficult again. Carlisle, Derby, Southampton, Sunderland, Stoke, Burton Albion.
Say those close again, please.
Carlisle, Derby, Southampton, Sunderland, Stoke City, Burton Albion.
These retired players, you say, yeah?
It doesn't have to be that. I'm not saying whether he's retired or not, because some are and some aren't. So,
it's a guess which I know is wrong. I'm going to go for Rory dELF.
Can you work out the Christmas vibe if it is Rory dELF?
He delaps Rudolph in the 400 meters.
Oh, you're so close.
What was it?
Rory dELF.
Well, I got the player right. I'm happy with that.
Well, you did well. You did well. You got the player right. Neither of us drink. Okay, the next one, you have to get this one. Chelsea, Aston Villa.
Chelsea, Aston Villa.
That's it. That's all he did.
This guy's got to be retired. John Terry. Christmas tree. Oh, it was Tony Cascarino. No, he didn't do that. I'm wrong either way. But yeah. John Terry.
I mean, how has that got anything to do with Christmas, John Terry?
It's Terry Trees. Terry's chocolate orange. It's part of Christmas.
But I'm glad you said that because I really thought you were going to get this one. John Sherry.
So I got the player right again.
You got the player right again. You did well. All right. The next one, if you get this one, mate, I will be very, very proud of you. Okay. We'll start off with my pronunciation of some of these clubs. Just bear with me. All right. So Rouen, Mouscron, Hoffenheim, West Ham, Newcastle, Chelsea, Besiktas, Shanghai, Istanbul, Lugano.
Give me again from the club to the first English club and to the last English club.
So Hoffenheim, West Ham, Newcastle, Chelsea, Besiktas, Shanghai, Istanbul, Lugano.
Got more chance of getting in bed with Beyonce than I ever getting this one, right? I'll have a guess, aren't I? We're not have a guess. It's down Newcastle, Chelsea. Like Remy.
I'm afraid that's incorrect, mate. Do you want to have another guess?
Denver Bar. and Denver Bar would be Bar the Christmas series.
Well, the good news is you don't have to drink because it is Denver Bar, but it's Denver Bar Humbug.
I hear that. I hear that phrase.
Okay, the next one. Mate, you're doing really well, by the way. You're doing really, really well. Better than I thought you would, actually, to be fair. Ajax, Liverpool, Hoffenheim, Ajax, Kasimbasa, Al Ain, Deportivo, Besiktas, Fulham, Galatasaray. So I'll repeat that. Ajax, Liverpool, Hoffenheim, Ajax, Kasimbasa, Al Ain, Deportivo, Besiktas, Fulham, Galatasaray.
Hippie had played in Germany before coming at Liverpool, so I don't know, it's not him. John Arne Riise.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
And what's that got to do with Christmas?
John Arne Riise.
Oh, mate, I love it. That's so good. Do you want to have it?
The fact that they've got the Norwegian spruce is in the tree. That's a proper tree, the Norwegian spruce.
But what's it got to do with his name? Obviously, we're working on
He's
the
Norwegian. He's Norwegian.
All right, you're definitely drinking on this one. It was Ryan Babel or Ryan Bauble. I love it. Oh, it's just because he's Norwegian. That'll do. Because they give us the tree at Christmas because of the war. That'll do. Mate, that was good. That's good. All right, so I've got one more player and then I've got a manager. So the last player is Wimbledon, Chelsea, Leicester, Millwall, Southampton, Coventry City. And Wimbledon as in, obviously, the old Wimbledon. So Wimbledon, Chelsea, Leicester, Millwall, Southampton, Coventry.
Dennis Wise and the Wise Three Kings.
Do you want to think about that again?
Three Wise Men.
There you go. Dennis Wise Man or Dennis Wise Men. Good work. All right. The last one. I reckon you're going to get the name, but the actual Christmas vibe, I guess. I don't know if you'll get this. So Benfica, then you got Une de Lira, Porto, Chelsea, Inter, Real, Chelsea, Manu, Spurs, Roma. A manager. I'll repeat that. Benfica, Une de Lira, Porto, Chelsea, Inter, Real Madrid, Chelsea, Manu, Spurs, Roma.
It's Jose Mourinho as the manager.
Yep.
What's Jose up to with Christmas?
Exactly.
His name might mean something in his language or something like
It's
that.
nothing to do. It's just English.
No, because you said it has nothing. Yeah, it means it in English. I've got no idea what that means to do with Christmas. So Jose Mourinho. So we're gonna take a wild stab and think that it is maybe Jose was Mary's real lover in Christmas.
Oh, I love it. It's so good. No, it's actually you could have it different ways around if you wanted to. So I've got it down as Jose Mourinho, but you could also have Jose Mourinho ho. That makes sense. Either way, it's ho. Mary,
Yeah, I'm liking it.
She wasn't after a guy called Jose. That wasn't what was happening. But you got the manager. It was quite an easy one, to be fair.
Yeah. I never believed that Mary was a virgin.
Okay, well let's not dwell on that. I don't know how we got through this last bit without too many ums and ahs and buttums and and all that kind of thing, but we did somehow. I think there might have been a few that got away from us, and we do. There's one.
Yeah, you definitely did one there, son. Definitely did one.
Anyway, I'd like to think that you guys would enjoy this podcast. This podcast is completely different to normal podcasts, and I hope you stuck with us. I hope our jovial kind of drinking kind of mindset hasn't put you off of us. That's just how we roll. And the most important thing here is that we just want to wish you a very, very Merry Christmas. We want you to stay safe and enjoy yourselves. And don't forget, if you want to give us any stick, any abuse, anything, our Twitter handles are State FPL _ Northerner, and I am FPL _ Southerner.
Have a great Christmas, everyone.